Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to identify Condylostylus longicornis from photos in the western half of the United States and Canada. I just want to make clear this is only useful in the United States, western United States and Canada, as in the eastern half, there are many more species that are easily confused. So here we can see the new guide that I've created for the western US and Canada for all species of sciapod in this region. And there's an identify link here, which we'll be using in the meeting on the 21st. Going back to slide 7, this is the diagnosis for Condylostylus longicornis in the West. We need 2 of 3 things here. We need always to know that the hind tibia is dark. You can see right here. And we either need to know that the foretibia is yellow-brown or that the wings are unmarked or mostly unmarked. You can see here the foretibia is yellow-brown. It's a clearly lighter color than the femora. Or we need to know that the wing is mostly unmarked except for this small little darker spot. Now we'll move on to some examples. First off, we have a female here, and I should mention females and males can be distinguished by the shape of the abdomen. Females have thick abdomens, males have tubular abdomens. Here we can see this is very thick abdomen. It's tapering at the tip. We can go back to longicornis. Let's check, is the hind tibia dark? I think it is. And when we can tell is by looking at the femora. So I can zoom in a little more here. We can see the femora here is dark. And this is a little lighter color. Compared to this, we can see here it's not as much reflection right here. And it is the same color as the femora. Next, we'd want to use the foretibia. And here I can see that the foretibia is a slightly different color than the femora, but it's not such a great photo and I wouldn't want to count on that. So I'd rather use the wings. We want to check that the wing is mostly hyaline, except at this apical spot. So we can go back. The wing is mostly hyaline, yes, except at this apical spot. Perfect. So we can confirm that this is Condylostylus longicornis. Next example. This is a male. As you can see, there's a tubular abdomen and the genitalia are very visible. So first we'll check the hind tibia, right? Make sure it's dark. And yes, it is the same color as the femora. And the foretibia is yellowish brown, much lighter color than the femora. So that's it. We don't need to see the wing. We just need to see the foretibia and the hind tibia, and we can confirm that this is longicornis. Next. This one is a little more difficult. I would not count on the foretibia here because it's just not that great of a photo and you can't really see it very well. So first off, let's look at the hind tibia. Just to point out, most species of longicornis have dark tarsi, which is like the feet, right? This little bottom part. So we can see that this is dark. So we'd want the hind tibia to be the same color as the tarsi. And here I believe it is. So we'll call that the dark hind tibia. And next, we want to look at the wing because we cannot really see the foretibia very well here. So the wing is mostly hyaline except for a dark apical spot. Yes. So we can call this pretty confidently Condylostylus longicornis. Next. This one, you can see it's really just not great photo quality, but we can identify it rather easily. So what are we looking for? Hind tibia and wing, because the foretibia is just not in a great place and the quality image is not good enough to tell what the color is. One might argue that you can kind of see that it's lighter, but for any amateur identifier, at least, of this species, I really would not judge that. So first of all, we'll look at the hind tibia. It's the same color as the tarsi, same color as the femora. So I consider that dark. And we'll look at the wing. And the wing here, it might be a little more difficult to see for new identifiers, but at least for me, and I hope for some of you, you can see that this is mostly hyaline. You can see this is a vein right here, and then there's a dark apical spot right here. So next example. So we'll look at the hind tibia, and the hind tibia here is actually not dark. You can see it's a different color than the tarsi are. This hind tibia is yellow, and you can also see the foretibia is yellow. So if you only look at the foretibia and the wings, then You might think this is longicornis, but you always have to look at the hind tibia. Another clue that this is not longicornis is that the femora are actually yellow. I did not mention this in the guide, but longicornis always has black femora. So this is a great photo. Like if you see one of these, you can be super confident. We can see here that the hind tibia is clearly very dark, and the fore tibia is clearly much lighter. That's all we need. We can go straight to longicornis. While we're here, one thing to mention is female longicornis do have lighter mid tibiae, but male longicornis have dark mid tibiae. So I did not include that in the guide because it varies between sexes and it's just not necessary to identify. Next, same exact scenario, but this is a male, so we can see that the mid tibia is dark. First, we'll look at the hind tibia. It is dark, same color as the tarsi, and the fore tibia is yellow, different color than the tarsi and femora. That's all we need. Same exact thing. Hind tibia is dark, same color as the tarsi, same color as the femora, and the fore tibia is yellow, much lighter. Next, first look at the hind tibia, and we can see here that it is much lighter color than the tarsi, much lighter. I'd call this pale yellow. And that's all you need to know, that it's not longicornis. Last example. It's very obvious, at least to me. Dark hind tibia, light fore tibia. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something, and I'm super excited to see you all use your newfound knowledge in the meeting on the 21st. I hope to see you there.